As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. How you doing tonight? Hi, Debbie Martin. Hi, Greg. Hi, Debbie Rogers. Hi, Nana. Hi, Richard. Hi, PK. Hit that share button if you're in here, please, because we got to get the show started. Hi, Beth. Give it a minute and let people join up before we get started. Crazy day, though. Crazier night. Can't believe it. $383 a day is what it's costing us for housing illegal immigrants. This is ridiculous. Hi, Dana. How you doing tonight? But we are spending per immigrant $383 a day for housing, food, and providing medical care. This is crazy. This is billions of dollars a month. About $12 billion a month. Right now with the illegal immigrants that we have right now. I mean, it's crazy to think about this, that we're spending almost $12 billion a month on illegal immigrants when we have people here in the United States that are homeless, people without food, without proper shelter. The Democrats think this is okay. I don't. They're appalling everything that's happening in the news, though, and we see U.S. pushing, or of course the Biden administration pushing closer to war with Russia and China. It's a day-by-day basis. But to look at what's actually happening here in our country, not even going overseas yet, just these issues. I mean, you got to look at New York City. I mean, they're helping over 100,000 people a day. I mean, 100,000 migrants a day. That's ridiculous. That's like $300 million a month. The situation is getting worse, and this is just New York City. We'll get to what's happening in Russia in just a minute, but this is crazy. How can people in the White House think that it's okay to spend $383 a day on somebody that is here illegally to give them what they need, but not provide American citizens their basic necessities? Cutting Medicaid, cutting Medicare, cutting Social Security or disability programs, not Social Security itself, but disability for U.S. citizens, making it harder to obtain disability and making it more stringent. Of course, raising the age of retirement. All this while we're spending billions of dollars a day, $12 billion, to house illegal immigrants. It's crazy. I mean, what is the world coming to at this point? This is absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, another problem, and I'm not going to get you started with this, but this is a huge issue. AI is now building supposedly heavily effective antibodies that humans can't even imagine, much less replicate. So we're going to trust our hands for new therapies that humans cannot process a huge volume of data, of course, and the previous unimagined molecules. We're going to allow AI to develop stuff that now we're going to say is mandatory vaccines. Yeah, if you heard that right, vaccines. It's $383 per person on average in the United States right now per day. It's ridiculous. But this vaccine thing is just ridiculous. This revolutionary new approach for AI-powered or AI-engineered and powered medical antibodies used to treat viruses and to basically be used as vaccines could be slowly in the future could be introduced. This is crazy. What is happening with people? Are they just losing their minds or they just don't care anymore? We got Hawaii burning, and Hawaii, the Hawaiian island, main island, and Moa also burning. Horrible fires over there because of the hurricane, of course. Dana, that's down to the south. I think it's Dana. Daniel, I can't remember the name. But there's a hurricane down south of it. I mean, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. We got these terrible issues happening in America. But yet we're going to allow immigrants just to flood the border, and they keep flooding them. I mean, the situation's supposed to get worse. Even Democrats are saying it's going to get worse. New York City said it's past its breaking point, and its demand for help. If things don't change, our new estimates of spending will be nearly $5 billion on this crisis this year alone. Just, of course, New York City. It's craziness. Absolutely crazy. $5 billion for one city in the United States housing illegal immigrants. But that's not a problem. You know, we'll cut wages for teachers. Oh, wait, New York City just did that. Cutting funding for public people like police, firefighters, teachers, and any nurses that are employed by the government in New York City got their wages cut. That's okay, right? We'll just have less police. Oh, wait, the crime rate's already through the roof in New York. This is what Democrats are doing to this country. I hate to say that. And I can't even say Democrats. It's the left. The right does it too, but the left. The Constitution has been thrown out the window. Nobody cares about the rules of law anymore. Nobody cares about the rules, what are supposed to be governing this country to make it a great country, the great country we're supposed to live in. All this, of course, unfolding, and you see, of course, more stuff. Special counsel has served Twitter a search warrant for Trump's account. What are they going to find on his Twitter account that wasn't public in the first place? Yeah, what laws? They don't care about the laws. The immigration laws and the Constitution that says they should protect the government is supposed to protect us from what is happening at the border. But yeah, no. And it's not just illegal immigrants jumping in. That's the money is one thing. The funding that's costing us the billions of dollars a day, it's costing America is one thing. And it's terrible, the $1 billion a day. But what about the hundreds of thousands of immigrants that have come in, paying up to $90 or $80 to $120,000 to get into the country illegally, all of military age, most of them Chinese and Russian? What about that? Nobody's talking about that. Of course, they're claiming they're Ukrainian citizens. New York school system, of course, up 33% of their new students will be Ukrainian, supposedly. How do you verify that? How do you even begin to verify that? Records aren't kept like they are in America. I mean, it's hard to verify if somebody is not Russian or Ukrainian. Those are people that illegally came in, seeking asylum, supposedly. This is becoming an astronomical shit show. Sorry for my language. All this unfolding, of course, while the Biden family confirmed now $20 million at least, confirmed with bank records, have been given to the Bidens from foreign countries. And of course, those are correlating with times, the deposits are correlating with times when Biden gave direct access to himself, or they gave access to Biden himself, which is crazy. President Biden still hasn't given him his bank statements, but the bank statements we do have are showing more problems. Yeah. Our country is falling apart at this point. Biden, of course, doesn't want to get over his bank statements to prove he didn't benefit from the family's foreign business dealings, but Republicans are prepared to launch an impeachment inquiry as early as next month on this. Even McCarthy himself saying, I think there's enough proof out there that the Biden family needs to come forward and show there wasn't pay to play. Of course, that's not happening. Biden family doesn't want to admit it. And the cocaine in the White House? Oh, wait. That was for a Biden family member, but it wasn't for Hunter Biden? More information, of course, coming out about that. Hopefully we get more details on the person supposedly that dropped it off. It was supposed to be a drug drop. But we're finding out who it was for. It was for the Biden family. We know that from information, inside information. But, of course, we got to wait until we find out who those drugs were for. Of course, that information coming out publicly, I'm pretty sure, as the White House security staff, the Secret Service, is going to be pretty much forced to disclose this information. I mean, there's so much information about the Biden family corruption now. Now, supposedly somebody else using cocaine in the White House. If it wasn't Hunter Biden, then who? That's a good question. Who else would be using cocaine? Who else has a lot of energy for about 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and then has to get off stage because they can't even talk? I'm not going to comment on that. Just observation. I'm not saying for sure, but that is definitely a big observation that I found. And it seems though nobody else was in the White House. Well, of course, he does have family visit, but nobody's been in the White House in the last couple of weeks with this cocaine issue besides Hunter Biden, his father, Joe Biden, and his stepmother. It's ridiculous. All it's unfolding, and something big is happening because now Biden is issuing an executive order restricting any U.S. investments in Chinese technology. That's right. So you can't privately do what you want to do with your own money anymore. Biden has signed an executive order today to block and regulate high-tech U.S.-based investments going towards China. The administration says it was targeted and also reflecting an intense competition between the world's two big powers. So you're going to ban what U.S. citizens can do with their money now? This is crazy. I thought we lived in a free country. Every time we turn around, it's something new. I mean, literally. Watching the U.S. and, of course, and China increasingly fighting in this geopolitical competition and the conflicts of set values. Biden administration officials, of course, have no interest in decoupling from China. Of course, we rely on Russia for uranium still to run our nuclear power plants. It's getting out of control. Yet we do not allow Europeans or the European nations to buy oil from Russia, but we're actively buying uranium from Russia right now. Who else knew that? Is that public? Is that posted somewhere? Is that listed? That we're still heavily tied to Russia directly? And the joke of Russia losing this war is a joke. If Russia was losing this war, why would they be getting ready to deploy a new military satellite days ahead of their lunar launch? That's right, Russia's space agency is still up and going and strong. So why is it so strong? How are they still strong? If they're supposedly doing so bad in this war and losing so much in Ukraine, this is devastating. to. It's another space race, another defense race that's more issues coming up. I mean, if Russian ministry can launch new satellites days before the country is set to launch its first lunar landing craft in nearly 50 years, China's already landed one. Now Russia's landing one. Oh, wait, we're not ready to yet. What a surprise. Of course, watching Biden recovery is just sickening, but watching what's happening in Ukraine and NATO's obvious buildup of forces to counter, or Russia, of course, having to build up forces in the West to counter NATO's threat directly because NATO's building up massive forces in Poland. We're not talking about that either. You know, we're just, nothing's happening here. I mean, Finland is asserting U.S.-led NATO alliance, of course, is pushing more and more soldiers and weaponry being deployed in Finland and Poland along the borders, showing and announcing plans to strengthen military at those borders and and significant NATO forces and weaponry to be deployed at this point. I mean, obviously, this is saying that the U.S. obviously knows Ukraine is lost at this point as a territory. So what do? What's going to happen next? We're not going to supply them with more weapons and more ammunition, are we? Of course we are. We're going to keep supplying them until we run out ourselves. Of course, this collective proxy war that the West is using Ukraine to fight against Russia is just a joke. Just because we're showing unprecedented support for Ukraine, supplying tens of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions at this point, worth of weapons to help Kiev try to repel Russian forces. Russia's not. They're still making ground. Ukrainian forces have not gained any ground in the counteroffensive. When they say they have, look at the heavily mined areas that supposedly Ukraine has moved into. Heavily Russian mined areas. Ukraine has mined their areas heavily as well. This is a no man's land, supposedly. It's ridiculous. But watching these territories in NATO, of course, move massive amounts of military contingencies and strike weapons are being deployed, of course, getting ready to do what they have to do, capable of hitting critical targets in northwest Russia at a considerable depth. I mean, obviously, Russia is going to get ready to counter this, and so is Belarus. Russia's military district is simultaneously strengthening groups of troops, the armed forces, of course, in the Federation on the western border, as well as fighting in Ukraine without a problem. Poland announced its intentions to build a most powerful army on the continent, of course, causing more anti-Russian policies the United States keeps pushing in. But yet we're still buying uranium. Oh, that guy got killed. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want to get banned for life. That's crazy. Even today, Russian rocket attacks killed 2 people and wounded at least 7 others in Zirpol, which is near, of course, the power plant that we've been talking about nonstop. Although the governor, of course, in that area said at least 3 people died on a residential area of the attack. Later, of course, Zelensky himself saying 2 people died and 1 person had been resurrected, trying to lower, of course, the kill count. We know that Ukrainian soldiers are dying almost 10-1 to Russian right now. But yet, Ukraine is trying to claim it's the other way around. Ukraine's having scrambled to force enlistments of people up to 75 years old. This is crazy. Going through almost 8,000 155 rounds a day. We only produce around 2,000 here in the United States total. No, Poland will not protect you. It's crazy. And China, of course, definitely not stepping down. Taiwan reporting the second large-scale Chinese Air Force incursion this week alone today. 10 Chinese Air Force aircraft entered Taiwan airspace deterrent zone today, accompanied by 5 Chinese warships engaging in combat readiness patrols. What a surprise. So, of course, China's always claimed the territory of Taiwan. We actually agreed with China's one China policy, and we still technically do. But since, our pressure of selling weapons to Taiwan directly to fight against it, to make it a sovereign nation, is causing pressure in China, and China, of course, is stepping up. We've seen, of course, more Chinese aircraft, over 25, engaging in operations out at sea, including J-10s and J-16 fighters, as well as H-6 bombers. Those aircraft, of course, the ministry said 10 have either crossed the median line in Taiwan Strait, this is earlier today, or previously served on the unofficial border or barrier between the two sides. Of course, this is ridiculous. We keep pushing all these countries, and of course China and everybody else. Another proxy war, yep. It's another proxy war, but this time we'll have to jump in. If this war were to start, we would have to jump in. I know we're trying to move the TSM the factory here to produce ships faster. We wouldn't have to produce them or wait for Taiwan to ship them across the seas. But the factory here has a long way to go before it's ready. And that's obvious. It's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy what's unfolding. And the world's got to be prepared. I mean, if you're not living where you can grow your own food yet, you better be. Our government's not going to be there to take care of you. It's collapsing in on itself. It's too busy trying to politically prosecute its own people. Republicans against Democrats, Democrats against Republicans. Nobody's looking out for civilians. I hate to say this. Nobody's looking out for the citizens of the United States right now. They both play like they are Republicans. Yeah, they're more constitutional. They actually believe in law and order. The problem is they're corrupt at their core. Otherwise, why would they want to go and fight in a world war which we are not prepared to handle? It's crazy. We can't even manage the damage that, of course, happened in U.S. towns just this last week, unprecedented levels of damage from the storm. Then we have the horrible fire in Hawaii. We can't manage that. I mean, communities are being decimated in Hawaii. Communities decimated in the United States, upending small towns in the United States because of storms. We can't even handle the weather. It's ridiculous at this point. No, I'm not set up for calls on this system yet. I didn't set it up. I'm sorry. But watching all this unfold, it's ridiculous. And not only that, now firefighters are fighting a fire at the port of Oakland. 17 minutes ago, just got reported, there is a fire at the port of Oakland. Firefighters are battling the fire, of course, this evening. The fire has been contained but not under control. Waiting for more developments from this story, but this is ridiculous. A major port now. A major port using, of course, boats and fire trucks to try to control the fire. How much damage is going to be done? How much product is going to be lost? Just be another thing, another hit to the United States. Government won't care as long as it doesn't affect their pocketbook. They're all making money off the back end. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is the day and age we're living in. I hate to say it. The government doesn't care about its citizens anymore. They can say they do. They can act like they do. It is truly, truly devastating. But God bless you guys. Thank you guys for being with me tonight. And of course, I will have the call system up Friday. So we will be able to take calls. But I know everybody's got a lot to say and a lot to do. Please share this out everywhere. If everybody shares it, as many places as they can, it would be great. Definitely need people to realize what's happening. Yeah, the government's feasting while we're famine. the United States is left to its own demises. Let's be honest, our government is not for us anymore. If they were, they'd be doing something about immigration. They would be doing something about natural disasters. They would be responding to citizens' needs, not trying to control us, take our guns away, change our monetary system, force us to take medicine that we don't want to take. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next, but we got to be ready. God bless you guys. God bless America. And, of course, we will be live Friday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in then. And, of course, God bless you all. And God bless America for what it stands for and what we should be. Good night.